May 29th. I actually suddenly can't remember where I got to yesterday. But, oh, I remember now. I remember. We're on page 12. You can see I haven't done much. I've been doing a lot of sketchbooking lately, and I'm feeling pretty good about that. Why did I ever stop before? Well, I never actually stopped. I stopped being as meticulous about logging it, using the same sketchbook. That's the worst. If you're going to be a sketchbookist, like, it's highly recommended that you come up with an organizational scheme about which sketchbook you're going to be using and when you get through it and all that stuff. Well, I recommend it. I'm not sure if it's highly recommended. It's what I recommend. Um, because like Chroma Moma, who is one of my sketchbooking influences, has even said that he rarely finishes sketchbooks. You know, but he opens the cupboard and it's like overflowing with books. You know, I got kind of the same situation. I've got crates full of them. But it only makes sense really if you, instead of starting a million books, that you know, use every page. Sometimes you want to go a little different. Like I have a, so I, for example, I had a wet book and a dry book, and this is the Blue Turtle book that I finished. I actually got to the last page on this morning, so there's going to be a sketchbook walkthrough video. They'll kind of show things. When you see a sketchbook walkthrough video, to me, it's there's a treat there because you kind of see what people are working on and things, and you know, it's inevitable that not everything in the book is going to be good. I would even say, like, you know, probably want to say, well, it's not perfect. It's not even perfect. It's not even good. Like, it's the whole point of sketchbooking is you're kind of working things out. But the rawness is what you're looking at, and I find them very inspiring. One of my favorite dudes is Danny Gregory. Although my philosophy of sketchbooking is, I wouldn't say it's 180 degrees away, but it's kind of different than his. And by that I mostly mean, you know, he's kind of one of those, sketchbook could be a place for finished art in itself. But it doesn't have to be done at a very, like, an extremely high level. I mean, if you've seen Danny Gregory's art, it's like, it feels very comfortable to me. I really like it. But it's not like super polished or anything like that. I'll also say I really don't even like super polished art at all. Like the way people draw comics now just gives me the heebie jeebies. All right. Well, I can't erase anything yet until I do this whole thing. This is one long 3-sentence speech. All right. Let's link it up. And hopefully in such a way that when I do the flood fill, that the white doesn't escape. Here it comes. It still escaped. All right, where's it falling out? Right there is one place. My line whites are all over the place. All right. All right, let's talk about line weights. Let me look at them. And the funny thing is, just yesterday, I was thinking maybe I should go really the opposite direction. Did I do it? Did it work? I did it. Um, go with thick line weights. Like on, you can see it on this character, but you can see it here. Like the line weights are really strong here. They feel good, but it's just this one character. So my civilian line weights for all my other people, my non-ghosts. I don't know. All right, let's remove ink for a second and layers. Boom. Let's see where the problem is. At this point, it's pretty safe to just take a look at it. Yeah, there's some line weight issues there, but we're just going to leave them. No one will notice them except me. Well, other people will notice them, I'm sure. No one will probably notice them except me. Okay, now I'm looking at these bottom two panels and the middle panel, and I'm trying to figure out how to set up some contrast. I think I want to make the middle panel, this big emotional panel, the darkest and have the most attention on the page. Like it's definitely the biggest panel. But I don't think I can get away with having just this blankness going on here. I think I could get away with it here on this last one. In fact, I could probably even open panel that one. Let's bring it back to black. And fountain inker. There we go. Thank you. Inky. All right, let's do this little set of paneling here. I was watching Cartoonist Kayfabe again today. How many of these videos start out with me talking about watching Cartoonist Kayfabe? He was talking about newspaper cartoons, which is one of these things that's kind of always on my mind. And he mentions that they always have dialogue, which is totally true and something I never really realized before. Or vernacular. They always have like dialect. That's what I'm really looking for. I was looking for the right word. They're always written in some kind of dialect, whether it's like Little Abner or you know, one that's a little bit more urban, or Popeye. You get to play with even with the language. Crazy Cat, Pogo. There's so many examples that you always get to play with the language. Look, I've gotten off register here. And apparently Ed Piskor's next project is going to be something like a daily strip or a weekly strip, or something done in the style of a daily or a weekly strip. And I really like that idea myself. I think a lot of people do. I think I saw Vole cartoonist doing something called Comics is a Sickness, and it's kind of a zine thing, but it's done in the style of a like a comic strip type comic. I've definitely tried my hand at it a couple of times and had a couple of insights. I want to do like an adventure strip, you know. One thing I thought was kind of interesting is this is from the same cartoonist Kayfabe. Tom Sholey had found an old Jack Kirby strip, but then he took the panels and resized them and redrew them and moved them around so that they were in a more sane comic book layout rather than the square panels, little square panels. I'm looking for my strips. Okay, so there's some of my strips right here. These are very rough, but and those aren't the only ones. My philosophy of doing. Oh, here's another one right here. This one. This is one right here. Another one. Wings of Adventure. But all of that's kind of informed on Book of Ruin and before Book of Ruin, it was a big deal on Brillig and a big deal on the Bee Strangers. Is this idea that the page is a fractal of the story, and then the panel is a fractal of the page, right? So you have, and what I mean by fractal is from this panel to this panel to the end could be like a daily strip. It could just, you could read it to the end, and even if you didn't know much about the ongoing story, you could jump into the story at this point. And I try and do that for every page, which may seem weird or like an impossibility, but it's not. You don't have to be over the top with it. You just have to make sure that um, you know, kind of have a beginning and an ending, and you're introducing at least one essential element of information on every page. Now, if you don't have an essential element of information, then the page shouldn't exist. And the essential element could be something like this. This is the essential element, the relationship. So if you read the whole comic, but this page was left out and this panel was left out, you'd be missing a vital part of this thing. This is a clue too. This one's a vital part. A lot should depend on this missing clue. Beware of the. We don't get to find out what it is. Actually, it just says beware. All right, first of all, let's take layer one. That's our panels and rectangle. And we're just going to see what life would be like, rectangle. Here we go. We're going to see what life would be like if we went borderless here. And if we don't like it, we just bring it back in. And this feels like a, you know, where you might see Dick Tracy or something end on a page. Revelation. There's a whole list of instructions I had to memorize last year, and he's surprised. Yeah, just one little bit of a tear left. If you're following or have followed Dick Tracy in the past, and I forgot who's doing it now. They're often kind of that's what you would be left on, as a sort of something like that. It's also a perfect jumping off point to like if you want to move the scene to different characters or do whatever. Um, in this case, we'll be using the same characters, but we are going to move the we are going to skip forward in time to where they're getting ready to leave and already gotten everything they needed out of the storeroom, which is what it was they were talking about earlier. When we first started making comics during the lockdown, these aren't topics that I thought about at all. And I attempted to do kind of like a daily with Vulture Squadron. I would say it didn't work out. I think I took them all down. We're going to do that with the micronib. Okay. Micronibs, they say. We're going to do the pattern with the micronib too. All right. Cartoon language. There it is. I'm convinced that more and more, when I see kind of what's passing for indie comics right now, there's slickly done, you know, highly rendered things that certainly no one could ever say look unrealistic, or they look very realistic. Um, I find them very ugly, and I just don't like them at all. And I think if there's any way back to the good times, it's got to be through, illustration, cartooning. And I say that as a guy who wants to draw superheroes. I want to draw. Well, I say I want to draw superheroes, but I mean I want to draw like barbarians and space robots and things too. I do have a soft spot for these cartoony animal characters too. Always have. Um, Whenever we run a poll for the Nine Volt anthology, see what people are interested in doing. I always put the animal heroes on there. I mean, it's always there because I'm always thinking about it, and it gets a couple of votes. The one time it even came kind of close. I think it's me and probably Rocket Ship Evan that are voting for it for the most part. That's cool. He's gonna be doing something too with some time travelers, or at least working on it. I'm looking forward to just see whatever he does. I'm a huge fan of him. All right. All right, that feels pretty cartoony to me. Feeling pretty good. And then Something like that. All right, let's go get the micro nib out. Where is it? There he was. Let's start with where's the light? Okay, a couple of things to think about. First of all, let's put a picture. Wait, let me get the regular. Let me get the technical. Now the fountain anchor back out again. How did I have that? I had a painting falling off the wall. Where is it? It's right here. Okay. So it's like a little goblin guy, but it's tilted below and so on. So we could kind of, well, that's going to look tangenty to his hand. Maybe if I put one like right here. Nope, tangents to the other line. It could even be another painting. No. There's a room for a joke, right? I could do it where the same exact goblin, like we could even take it like, grab a little copy of it, put it over there and just retrace it at a different size. It might even be funny to have it like one of those magical paintings where it's kind of alive. It could be like paying attention to him. Which I kind of like that idea too. Let's grab him real quick. Real quick, we're just gonna grab it. Oof. Give us a chance to decide. And I'm gonna paste. Where is it? I could just put it like that. It doesn't look good though. You know what I mean? Let's not do it. We'll just delete it. I think we're gonna focus instead. Let's do some more cracked plaster. That'll be it. And give this a little bit more. Hey now. So where's some of the Clark? There's some that's down here. All right. And just remember that we're under no obligation. Where's the stipple? Oh, I got some new stuff too, by the way. I'm really excited about. I got some new brushes. I got some watercolor brushes. They're not as useful for comics. But I was thinking maybe I would use them in the mecha comic. Not as useful in black and white comics, I say. I mean, they're watercolor brushes. I don't know. Maybe there is a way to use them. Who knows? But they're the Max Packs watercolor set and the Max Packs comic set. This came highly recommended to me. So we're going to add them into the overall look. I definitely think the B-tones, whoops, have made the look of the comic pretty cool. There's also a fairly good chance if I go with Amazon KDP, there's a chance I could do color. And if I do another tabloid, there's a chance I could do color. It's not out of the question. It's one of those things where it's more expensive, but it's not like prohibitively expensive. So at that point, it becomes a choice, and you have to go, well, is that going to be more appealing? Is that a selling point? You know, is it worth the extra time and effort? All right, I'm looking at this guy. All right, let's go back to the. Now we need the micronib. Micronibs essay. All right. Oof. Now we're just going out in the open. Okay. Doesn't look like I'm going to get to the tones until tomorrow. I have another video coming out today that'll be about a sketchbook walkthrough of the Blue Turtle book. There it is. We're going to go over every page. I'm going to take a look at it. You get to see kind of where I am artistically right now. All right. Okay. So we figured all that stuff. The light this time is going to go here, so we're going to do some shadow behind him. I guess I could do some hatching on this guy. I'm only going to go to 30 minutes this time. Let's do some hatching right here. And we'll do a nice like drop shadow against the wall. Shout out to someone else I'm following now. Alex70 the art, I think. She's doing colored pencil mostly. Something it's a medium I've never been able to do very well at. I've got some colored pencil, but I got a box of them right there. Trying to figure them out, so I'm happy to be learning. One of the things I really liked about that channel is she had a collection of like herbs, like she had, what was one of them? Thyme, She's doing the small sketchbook. That's pretty cool. How about right here? Beats playing video games. That's what I say. All right. Hang on. I think we're on to something. Okay. Now, for the light here, let's have the light coming this way. So I don't think there's a lot we can do on these feathers other than, this is not a whole lot of hatching. We're going to do more with the tones, but for the chainmail texture, I'm going to concentrate and bunch it up a little bit more in the area of the shadow. And you're still going to do the texture over the whole thing, but you're going to space it out a little bit more. Also, on these, if we have the light kind of coming I said this way, right? That means we have a choice on the shield. We can either do just this half of each of the feathers, like just do this. Probably the best way to do it. Or we could do the entire front face in shadow. This part of the shield is called the boss. There we go. Oh, we definitely want to. Alright, we're right at the end of this video. I don't want to make this too long. I'm going to cut it off now. So, all the dark stuff on the right, light stuff on this way. And also, you notice they're both looking in this direction, and he's pointing in this direction here, although he's pointing in the other direction here. They have to get out of the house because it's about to go up in flames. So let's have them move, like just thinking about this, moving in the direction of the light. And same deal with the in the next page. I might be just one page away from the end, or maybe two. Where they have their backpacks and stuff, and they're already on the road, and they're going to be talking about stuff. So I'll have to think about it. All right, please like, follow, and subscribe. And please check back later. Every day, for more comics. All right, talk to you later.